All right, everybody. So we're going to be playing Dragon Heist, and Dragon Heist is set in the massive city of Waterdeep. I believe it's called the City of Splendor, isn't it? I think that's its nickname. Well, we are the time, and I know a couple of you were asking what season it is, and we are in the spring season in Waterdeep, and the spring season tends to be a little cold and a little damp. Lots of misty rain falls for days on end, and it's actually pretty common for fog to settle at night and last through a major part of the day. But as spring leads into summer, the weather improves and the city attracts more and more visitors, and the streets will become more increasingly crowded as, like I said, as summer approaches. So you guys all know one another. Well, I don't know if you all, that's up to you guys. But you all have been congregating, and you have all seen and met one another in the Yawning Portal. And the Awning Portal is a bar that's owned by a gentleman named Durnan. And Durnan has a huge reputation as being an adventurer. And it's obvious. Everybody knows that Undermountain, the Yawning Portal, is one of it's like the easiest way to get into Undermountain. There's a well in the middle of the Yawning Portal. The well drops down, 100 feet, 120 feet or so, and voila, you're in the Mad Mage's dungeon. And most people that take, you pay a fee if you want to go into Undermountain, Durnan will gladly take your money. That's why he bought the Yawning Portal anyway. And, you buy a ticket, you descend with the winch down the sunken stone well, and you descend 140 feet and Undermountain. And most people go down and never come back up. So, and it's a big tourist attraction too. I mean, and you guys are currently all in and you're all kind of sitting together. It's a super crowded night here in the Yawning Portal. And there's also multiple stories, so as you look up, you can see other levels of the Yawning Portal with lots of people hanging over the railings, and several, groups of adventurers have actually paid their fee, and Durnan and his crew has lowered them down into Undermountain. And all around you, people are taking bets. They're going, oh my gosh, are they going to come back up? Or, these groups they'll put on these skits and they'll say, we'll be back in 1 week and we'll be the richest adventurers in Waterdeep, etc., and all of Faerun, and everybody's just kind of chuckling, placing bets as to these chumps aren't going to come back up. They're going down with their shoddy, rusty long swords and their half bastion shields already, and they're taking bets, and most of the bets are, hey, they're not coming back up. So. But you guys are, and the well is a 40-foot diameter well, so it's a pretty big well, and you could, about 5 or 6 people can go down this pulley system at one time. And there's a few friendly faces that every time you guys go into the Yawning Portal, there are some friendly faces that you see, and I'm going to give you guys this handout. But of course, Durnan is in the upper right-hand corner, and he's the owner, and he's an adventurer, and he's really old. Durnan is well over 100 years old, and he still looks like he's in his 30s, mid-30s, early 40s. And he's one of the few adventurers that has actually gone down into Undermountain and came back out. And that's how he purchased the Yawning Portal from the previous owner many, many years, many decades ago. Paid for the Awning Portal with all of the treasure that he had gotten from Undermountain. Of course, he doesn't tell any secrets, or he doesn't tell anybody how he's preserved his age so well. But yeah, he's a nice guy. He knows all of you guys by name. You know him by name. He knows all of his patrons. And like I said, there's probably probably a couple hundred people in the Awning Portal tonight. So it's very busy. Like I said, you can hear plates clanking, all kinds of food being served. The trio of sisters that are all a trio of twins. They're all serving food. They're rushing around. There's one of them is Bonnie, and then she's got two other sisters. Whatever names you want to give them, I don't care. You've seen Three Strings, the human bard. Actually, she's playing about 3 tables over from you. There's also Jalester Silvermane, or Jalister Silvermane. You know him. He's always in there. Maloon War Dragon. He's a famous adventurer that's actually gone down in Undermountain and came back up several times. One of the human clerics of Joaquin is in here, Obaya Uday, and a very huge half-orc woman is sitting at a table by herself right on the other side of the bar from you, and her name is Yagra Stonefist, and you know that she is a very, very tough mercenary, and she loves to arm wrestle, and she always beats foes, whether they're male or female, that always challenge her, and she actually makes quite a bit of coin by doing some arm wrestling. She's all at the table by herself. So those are the surroundings at the Yawning Portal right now, and I'm going to give you guys a map of the Yawning Portal as well, as you guys are, kind of munching. You're munching on your food, and you guys have been eating like a quipper type of fish, and it's been very delicious. So let's see. Let's go to the Yawning Portal. Here's your. I'm not going to give you that handout yet. But yeah, actually I will give you this handout. I debated on giving it to you, but this is basically what the Awning Portal looks like. And like I said, there's multiple levels of the Awning Portal, and there's all kinds of people hanging over the railings and stuff as they're watching. As you can see, the pulley system lowering these adventurers down into Undermountain. And like I said, all of the bets and stuff are being placed all around you. You are in the city of Waterdeep, so I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit, not trying to information overload you or anything, but you are in Waterdeep. This is the current map of Waterdeep, and you guys are in the Castle Ward right now, which is where the Yawning Portal is located, which I believe it's on Rain Run Street, and you're in the Castle Ward. So that's where you guys are at currently. So you guys can drag and drop that onto the macro bar down below if you guys ever need to, find out where you guys are at or anything like that. So, okay, so I'm going to give you guys a map now, and this is the bottom level of the Awning Portal. And like you could see from the other isometric image, that above you there are multiple levels. So you can see that there's the pit that's in front of you. People are being lowered down, and like I said, this is a melting pot of races. I mean, there are humans, there's gnomes, there's dwarves, there's half-orcs, there's dragonborns, there's Aasimars, whatever you can imagine is here in the Awning Portal. Durnan does not discriminate. Everybody's gold dragons are very well accepted here in the Awning Portal. So this is where you guys are at. Up here in the upper part of the middle of the map, you've got the triplets that are serving you food. They're also serving you ale, the Shadowdark ale, and the Quipper food you were eating. Oh, also, don't forget the chips as well. So your Quipper and chips were good. They were nice and fresh. The Shadowdark ale was cold, and you guys are sitting around your sturdy wooden table. And, of course, there's all the tables are brightly burning candles, and that's, it's a dimly lit tavern in here. And on your table, there's all kinds of empty plates, half-drunken, half-drained tankards, because you guys have been eating and drinking. And like I said, there's the sounds of all the gambling going on around you, the arm wrestling, drunken adventurers, the bard singing songs, and the bard is 3 tables over. And then all of a sudden, as you guys are, in fact, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves to everybody at the table, and this is where this was pretty much the only table that was really taken. I'm putting an arrow up here at the top of the map, and you guys can hover over your tokens. You can find, you can actually, hover over, find your token, and if you guys don't want that token, I can give you a token later on, which would be no problem at all. Dernan is right here. With the green arrow, that is Dernan. He is behind the bar, and he's sort of like Tom Cruise in Cocktail, where he's just kind of flipping all kinds of bottles and sliding tankards down the other end of the bar, and he's getting all the waitresses, the triplets that are right there with you guys, are serving you food, and then as they kind of go off, they are basically taking food to other tables, going back into the kitchen, etc. And so why don't you guys kind of introduce yourselves as everything is kind of going on here in the Yawning Portal. Thank you, Plains Mage, for the follow. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start first. I'm Furied Fate, and I'm going to be playing Sarafina Gloomwalker. She is a tiefling bounty hunter. And of course, she makes friends with everybody because there's always somebody who needs to get caught or tracked down because they forgot to pay. So she's very helpful.
Well, welcome to the game.
I'll go next. I'm Check for Traps. I'm playing Dantes. And Dantes is, he's a sailor. And he came into a little bit of money. And not a lot, but some. And he's also sworn off the sea. And so he's been just kind of milling around the various taverns and bars, trying to figure out what to do with his life next. Because something really bad happened on his last trip. And he is done with the ocean. So Dantes is trying to figure things out. What he doesn't quite know yet, but he is now a storm sorcerer.
Ooh. Welcome to the game, Chuck. Good to have you again.
I'm Falcon59er in the Discord. I'm playing Greaves Bodigan. He's a guild merchant, artisan, or former guild merchant. He was a pie vendor, and his business was destroyed by a random accident of wild magic sorcerer. And so now he's turned to thievery so he could restart his business.
I love it. Sorry to interrupt.
So
that was good.
That's what he's doing right now. He's a little bit of a Robin Hood type thief. He's not super into just stealing from anyone. He's trying to take it from people that don't really need it.
So Greaves, what was your signature pie, and what was the name of your business? Do you have that name? I'd like to know.
Yeah, it was a traveling wagon called Pies of All Kinds. It was just my name, and Grieve Bodigan's Pies of All Kinds. There was a steak and ale pie was one of the major ones, and he was working on an open-faced flat pie, which of course is a pizza, but didn't have a name for it. Of course, he didn't get that far. His wagon got blown up, and he had to pretty much let go all of his employees.
Now they're all living in the slum quarters because you couldn't pay them anymore.
Yeah, well, some of them were like shepherds or swineherds that followed along on the trails, but they didn't want any part of the people that I was hiring in there.
You didn't do any barbery work on the side like Sweeney Todd, did you?
No.
For the meat pies.
No, but I'm sure whatever they ran into on the road was going to end up in that pie somewhere. So fruit pies, meat pies, all kinds of stuff.
Nice. If I was to have a bakery as a character, I would have named my bakery Pinch-A-Loaf. Wah wah. I mean, if I was actually going to do that in real life, I would actually name it Pinch-A-Loaf. I mean, that's just a catching name. I mean, people would just come in to see what Pinch-A-Loaf is all about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So welcome, Falcon Niner.
Thank you.
I'll go next. Hi, my name is Woocraft. I am a paladin, and my race is a dragonborn. I come from way north, and yeah.
So do you like your token there, Woocraft? I figured you'd like that shiny mace. That was a token that Vay did about 4 years ago, and I haven't used it in so long. I was like, you know what? Woocraft might like that.
Yeah, I like it.
Good. And Woocraft is our youngest player too, at 13. When do you turn 14, Woocraft?
Next year.
I hear your dad in the background going next year.
Nice.
Yeah. Who's daddy playing?
Well, we got to keep it all on the same page. You know what I mean? So.
yeah, we do. Wink, wink.
So yeah, I'm going to be playing. I'm Pernicious Pilfer, and I'm going to be playing Aeptor, a Fearbog Tempest Cleric. He's pretty old, and you're going to find that most of the time he's going to remind you of like your kooky old grandfather. Most of the things that come out of his mouth don't make any sense. But if you listen close enough, every once in a while a nugget of wisdom will drop. He's pretty silly, he's pretty crazy, and he doesn't really take anything too seriously, and he's just out and about and seeing what kind of trouble he can get into.
All right.
I like it.
Woocraft, can you go back into the character selection and change the name of your old Woocraft into Delete Me, and then I'll delete your old character out of the character bin, and then I'll replace you in the character tracker and the combat sheet. Well, the party sheet. So if your character's in there, just go ahead and change the name of the one in the character selection. I'll just kind of delete it out. So.
Yeah, we've already got it named Delete.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. I see it now. So, all right. So this is where we're at, everybody. You know, as you guys kind of know each other, and I don't know how much you know one another, but like I said, the Yawning Portal is always a happening place, and especially on nights that are dropping the adventurers down into the Undermountain dungeon. So this was pretty much the only table that was not taken. This is where all of you have congregated, and all of a sudden, where the half-orc, the 7-foot-tall female half-orc, her name is Yagra Stonefist. She's a regular. She's always, arm wrestling, etc. She's over here, sitting at the table on the eastern wall. She's got her back to the wall. All of a sudden, the door kicks in pretty violently, and you can hear Durnan over there at the bar go, "What the hell is this?" And all of a sudden, you hear one of these. There's 5 brutes that kind of just walk right in, and they're right here. They're all facing towards Mrs. Stonefist sitting at the table. And one of them yells out, "Oi! You pig! You like killing me mates, does ya?" And, Mrs. Stonefist, that's what I'm calling her. I guess I'll just call her Yagra. She stands up from the table. And this human, he has eye-shaped tattoos on his bald head. And she looks over towards the guy that pulled his hood down, and she says, "What are you doing here, Krentz?" Krentz. Krentz. And that's when he says, you're into killing me, mates." And, she stands up. And then all of a sudden, the human with the shaved head and the eye tattoos on his head, he snaps his fingers, and the 4 other goonly thugs that are with him, they go and all start attacking Mrs. Stonefist. And all of a sudden, there's all kinds of fighting, there's all kinds of yelling, cursing, roaring going on. A couple of the people, at the other tables around you start to fall back. So they all go in, and they're ganging up on Yagra. And Yagra's never really caused any kind of trouble before. And you guys are, like I said, you guys are always in here. One of the best places to eat in Waterdeep. All kinds of great food, etc. And like I said, these thugs, they all look the same. But like I said, the one has a bald head and a bunch of eye tattoos that are tattooed on his head. So what do you guys do?
Has anyone drawn a blade, or are they just fisticuffs at this point?
Yes, all of the thugs that basically broke one of the doors off of the hinges, and Durnan says, "You're gonna pay for that, you assholes!" And they just have that little bit of dialogue with Mrs. Stonefist or Yagra, and wham, they're just attacking her, and she's all by herself, and she's holding off, she's holding them off pretty good. And then in fact, after about 10 or 15 seconds, the other goons kind of back off a little bit, and it's just her and the bald-headed figure. So what are you guys doing? Are you guys just kind of watching, or are your mouths starting to water a little bit and saliva to where you want to jump in, or what? Doesn't look like any other groups of patrons that are at the tables are jumping in. In fact, you could hear that some of them are taking bets. Some of them are saying, "Oh yeah, Yagra, she's gonna kick all of their asses, and they're all gonna be on the floor," and blades are drawn and everything. So, what do you guys do?
What Dantes is going to do is he's going to whip out his little flask of whiskey. He's going to take a swig of that and mutter a curse to a storm god and cast a false life on himself, and then he's going into the fight.
Ooh, nice. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative, and you guys can get into the fray of things. Is anybody else doing anything while Dante is kind of buffing himself up?
You said the door was knocked off its hinges?
Yeah, the door is knocked off the hinges, yeah.
I'm just looking over at him, kind of pull my coat up and kind of shiver and just keep drinking my...
Just going to kind of hang out at the table and just keep drinking away, eating your Quipper and chips. All right.
Yep. Every now and again, glancing over.
I'll yell out across the room that they need to keep it fair. Kind of inquire about what's going on, and I'll stand up, and my intentions are to move over closer to the situation.
And I tell you, they got blades out, mate. They ain't being fair. And,
no, it doesn't look like
that's it. That's when I head over there. I don't know if we get movement or what.
Yeah, so you guys have all rolled initiative, so we will go ahead and start going with the initiative order. So, Krentz, which you had actually heard, the half-orc, you heard Yagra call the bald-headed guy with the tattoos on his head. You heard her call him Krentz. And actually, as Krentz goes to attack her, he kind of jumps over the corner of the table as the others kind of get back a little bit. And the others, they're kind of looking back towards the rest of the tables, basically saying, you're going to have to deal with us if you think you're going to jump in on this, basically. That's how you're perceiving this. And Krentz, he jumps onto Yagra, and they're just rolling around, tables, the table gets knocked over, the chairs go flying, the food that was on the table goes flying over, Durnan ducks, and then it breaks the mirror behind him on the wall, and he's just even that much more pissed now, because now not only did they break the door off the hinges coming in there, now they just broke his favorite mirror. So he's throwing a bunch of curse words over towards them. And, like I said, Yagra and this Krentz guy, they're rolling around just slugging each other with fist and headbutting and biting and all that other stuff. So that's what happens when Krentz attacks. Now we're going to go to, let's see. Let's go ahead and go with Greaves now. What say you, Greaves? You're just kind of sitting there eating Quipper and chips, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to chill there for a sec.
Okay. Aeptor, how about you? I hope you like your Bugbear token. I really didn't have a Furbolg token, so I thought the Bugbear would be okay.
Yeah, I think that'll work out pretty good. So I'm going to stand up. Aeptor, being a Fearbolg, he's pushing 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
he's going to stride over and he's going to come up behind this fellow right here, and he's going to grab him by the shoulder and look him in the eye and say, "You boys need to keep this fair. I don't know what the problem is between this human and Yagra. I've never known Yagra to have any kind of problems with anybody, but any of you boys thinking about jumping in here, you're going to have to deal with at least me."
Yeah, and as you spit him around and speak to him, you know, he hears you out, and then he just spits in your face, and he says, "Go to hell, and what are you doing in the Yawning Portal anyway, bugbear?" And he spits in your face, and he basically looks like he's going to attack you. So, I mean, you can attack him, you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah, I'll swing on him.
Thank you, Nemesis. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Totally appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nice hit with a 24. You definitely hit him. Ooh, nice damage. So you hit him, and yeah, you do a lot of damage to him, and he just staggers back, and and it looks like he's just barely in it now. I mean, you crushed him with your weapon, you know, with your Morning Star. You know, you basically had to pull it out of his skull, and he's just kind of standing there all punch drunk like Troy Aikman. I don't know if you guys know who Troy Aikman is, but he took too many shots as a quarterback, and now when he's on TV, he just looks like he's always punch drunk. So yeah, you're just kind of standing there like Troy Aikman. Sorry about that. Sorry, Troy. I know you're watching the show, but I love your work. So yeah, he's in bad shape. So anything else you want to do with a bonus action? Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. So Yagra, you know, she's punching just as you know, the other guy on top of her, basically Krentz. I'm going to put them tokens side by side. With her, she's just rolling around. And in fact, she has got him. She's kind of full mount position on him now, and she's just punching the crap out of his face. And she's just got his shoulders pinned down, and she's just barreling in. And it looks like a couple of the other guys are starting to jump in, seeing that now she has the advantage on the bald-headed guy, Krentz. So we'll move on to the next one. So yeah, this is one that's actually going in, and he's going to get advantage because she's basically in a prone position, and he is going to take his scimitar, just kind of slash in and hit her. And she tries to, you know, and she's wearing some like studded armor, so she kind of parries the scimitar blade away, but you can see that she actually got a really nice gash on her arm. Sarafina, you're up. How do you like your token, Sarafina? Is that an okay token?
I like it. I like because I mean I am going to be two weapon fighting, and then she's got the tail. Looks great.
All right.
Okay. Sarafina, with her pint in her left hand, seeing how it basically looks like Yagra is getting surrounded, and she's like, "That's not a fair fight. Oi, come on, we should help her." So standing up on the table she's on, gonna move around there. Okay, like I said, her pint is in her left hand. She's going to take her right hand, pull out one of her hand axes, and chuck it over at bandit number 11, the one that just slashed her.
Okay, sounds good.
And because I really don't want to fuck this up, I am going to use my inspiration.
Okay, so seeing that you do have a couple of people, but you are standing on top of the table, so I'm not going to give you a -2 like I normally would, because all of those guys at the bar are sitting down. So yeah, you can go ahead and just have a normal attack as you throw your hand axe at the bandit number 11.
I do want to use my inspiration though, just I really don't want to miss.
Yeah, just hit that ADV button in the lower left-hand corner.
Oh my gosh!
Horrible numbers to start this night with.
Yeah.
I'm a little tipsy. It's fine. That's what I'm going to attribute it to.
You're a little tipsy? How much have you had to drink?
I don't know. Is this my first pint or second pint? I can't remember.
If you can't remember, it's
I
probably...
only had 2 beers, Ossifer. Only 2 beers.
Yeah. So when you throw your hand axe, it sails over everybody's heads, you know, cutting a few of their hairs as the axe whisks over all of their heads, and then it sticks into the wall right above where Yagra and Krentz are rolling around prone on the ground. And it just sticks right into the wooden wall.
Maybe that'll get their attention.
Well, I don't think they notice it. They don't notice it, but the But one of the goons that came in with Krentz, he notices it, and he turns around and sees you standing up on the table in like a thrown position with your hand outstretched as you just do that act. So he definitely see that, and it looks like he's starting to run towards your table. So this guy turns around. This is the guy that was turned around on you anyway, Aeptor, and he swings. I mean, he's totally Terry Bradshaw, Troy Aikman punch drunk, and he has a scimitar in his hand, and he swings at you. And seeing that he's in such bad shape, I'm going to give him disadvantage with the attack. I'm feeling so generous tonight after killing 2 people last night in my other game. And he misses you with the disadvantage. And he swings, and you basically just kind of block it away with your shield.
Aeptor chuckles. He's like,
One of the other bandits that are in there, he sees that you guys are starting to jump in, so he moves around and starts to he goes through there, goes through here, and he's going to join in with his friend on you, Aeptor. So he's going to take his scimitar, and he's going to swing at you as well. And one of the triplets, she screams and drops her tray, and all kinds of quipper and chips go flying everywhere, and a couple of mugs of ale, of the shadow ale, they kind of go flying everywhere, and she just runs to the south wall of the tavern. So he swings and he hits. So let's see what kind of damage that he does to you, Aeptor. Ooh, he hits you for max damage. You're critically wounded at 7 wounds. So now, Dante, you're up. You've got your temp hit points on. What say you?
Yeah, Dante knows this is not a good situation. This is not fair. So he's seen the blades come out. He knows it's time to get busy. So he's going to run over here, and he's got his short sword out, and he's going to take a swing at Bandit 4. Now he's going to try to use non-lethal force here. So hit him with the pommel or something like that.
Okay, and just kind of knock it out then.
In the process, he's going to cast Booming Blade.
Well, going all out. Spare no expense.
What the cantrip? Huh.
So I believe you have to hit first with your attack before Booming Blade takes effect.
Okay.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I guess that's what I...
So it's as part of the action, your Booming Blade. Yeah, as part of the action used to cast a spell, you must make a melee attack with a weapon against one creature within your spell's range. Otherwise, the spell fails. On a hit, which is a miss, so I'll just stop reading there.
Yeah, I know how it works. I wasn't sure how the mechanics and things work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you want to you got inspiration if you want, or if you want to save it or whatnot.
Yeah, you know what? Let me do my inspiration here and do another attack.
No, even worse yet. So yeah.
I'm in the fight though. I'm in the fight. Okay,
yeah. You're engaged though. That's for sure. All right, Durnan is up. Durnan is pissed by this point. And Durnan, there is a beautiful, you can just look and see that this magic, this item is magic. And it's in this stone sheath that's on the wall that was above the mirror. So he grabs this beautiful blade and as he pulls it out, it's almost like a song. It's like, oh, like Excalibur being pulled out of the stone, and he pulls this weapon out and he engages basically these bandits, and he moves up and he just, this first bandit, he just slices him. I mean, he's like a whirling dervish. You could have swore you seen him attack 4 times. I mean, he just slashed him. And you're like, whoa. Sort of like on Friday when they're like, damn, whenever Zeus hit that guy and uppercutted him like 10 feet up into the air. And so, all he does is he's a whirling dervish, and he slices his first bandit down. So Bandit 11, the guy that was just fixing to start running towards you guys, he goes down. He didn't even know what hit him. And then he just kind of moves up a little bit, and it looks like he's going to start helping with the other bandits as well. All right, so this guy, he's now that the table is out of the way, he's gonna move up and engage Durnan. He says, "You took down one of my friends. I'm gonna take you out. The power of the Zentrum." And he yells that out. I'm sorry, he doesn't say Zentrum. He says, "Be blessed by Zenithar. You will, we're gonna take you out." And he goes to attack, and let's see, he misses Durnan altogether. I mean, he just misses. It's like Durnan just in slow motion. You could just see him get out of the way and dodge. So Durnan he's a badass. Durnan is definitely a badass. All right, so let's see. We've got now old Delete is in the combat tracker. So we'll go ahead and we'll get you going, Wookrath. What say you, Wookrath?
Well, first thing Wookrath is doing is he falls out of his chair for being too drunk.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
That's a great start there, Wookrath.
Then he gets back up and he starts rushing to one of those ninjas.
All right, so there you go. There's your token on there. You can go ahead and move your token now. I've got you switched out, so.
And I'm gonna attack bandit number 4.
All right, sounds good. Ooh, it's a miss with an 11. You got inspiration if you want to use it.
No, I'm good.
Right.
What? You don't want to waste your inspiration like all of us?
No. You see what happened to you guys? I don't want to have.
True, it wasn't worth it for us.
I can't speak
Right, you're
English.
very smart.
All right, Krentz is taking a pretty good beating from the half orc. Yagra's kind of she's beating the hell out of him right now. So, like I said, she's got him full mount, and she's just beating him, and blood's starting to splatter on the wall. Where your axe is stuck in, you can see blood starting to splatter, and she's just still wailing on him, and he just really can't do anything. So, Greaves, you're up again.
So Greaves kind of sighs, stands up, and knocks the crumbs off his jacket, and he's like, "Well, it's going to be that kind of night, I guess." He's going to walk up here, pull out a hand axe, which is actually a meat cleaver because meat pie guy.
True.
So then wouldn't it be like a pie cleaver then?
Yeah. Hang on one sec. This map is in my way and my computer screen's tiny.
Got to get rid of that Android. Got to get at least a laptop.
Yeah, it sucks. This is an old laptop.
Wow, you guys are missing big time tonight. Thank goodness Durnan has jumped in, huh?
I'll go ahead and use, well, is it too late to use the inspiration?
No, you can go ahead and use it now. Go for it.
I love it. First encounter, first round, everybody uses their inspiration.
I like it, because usually everybody saves it for the boss, you know what I mean, or the big bad NPC.
Exactly.
But the more that you use it,
thing.
yeah, the more that you use it, the more I'm going to give inspiration at anyway, because of great roleplay and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a hit. Okay, good.
All right, so that's a hit with your hand axe or your meat cleaver, so you can go ahead and roll damage.
Don't worry, I'll clean it off when I'm done.
Nice hit. Yeah, so the bandit number 10, he falls down. He's dead. So you can take any other movements you want, and we'll go to Aeptor.
I'll stay right here.
All right. Aeptor, what say you? The guy that you were engaged with was just taken down by one of the guys at your table, Greaves.
All right. I like that opening. So I will move here and then here. And I will cast Word of Radiance.
All right.
So, word of radiance, you utter a divine word, and burning irradiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage.
Nice.
So I will mark these guys.
Looks like one of them failed.
Okay, so I just go ahead and hit the damage.
That's it.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So the one will take a little bit of damage, but yep, that's your action. Divine light kind of flashes in the Yawning Portal, kind of blinding some of the other patrons, and they're like, "Hey, what is that magic?" And the one guy takes 1 damage, and you avoid all of the other damage from a couple of saving throws that were successful. So, anything else you want to do? Go ahead and do it.
That's it for me.
All right. So Yagra, she's got, like I said, she's full mounted on Krentz, and she's got him beaten so bad that Durnan, as a reaction, actually says, "Don't kill him, Yagra. The guards will probably be here any time, and then you'll be in trouble for murder. Don't forget the rules of Waterdeep." And she basically stops. She's still full mounted on him, but he's just a bloody pulp. I mean, he's like kind of gurgling up blood and breathing, but she stopped pummeling him basically. All right, Sarafina.
Okay, so throwing apparently is not my forte right now. So I will hop off the table and then make my way over here, maybe to give Bandit 4 a little poke with a scimitar.
Sounds good. Ooh, nice crit. I would definitely stick to swinging, that's for sure.
Right?
So he takes...
I have better aim that way.
Yeah, he takes 9 slashing damage from the scimitar. And he's in pretty bad shape. All right, so he is going to try to... He's actually going to say, "Let's get out of here!" And he tries to make a run for the door. So 4 of you are going to get attacks of opportunity. No, in fact, he's going to disengage. He's going to be smart about it. And he's going to shimmy his way out. Basically, he uses a bonus action to disengage, and then he uses his action to basically sprint out of the Yawning Portal through the broken door. And he disappears, basically.
You lost another one.
He says, "We'll get you." And he disappears as he runs around the corner. All right, Dante, you're up.
So I'll move up and take another swing and try to use Booming Blade.
Okay. As he runs out of the door, he says, "Xanathar's guild never forgets a face, foes!" As he just kind of ducks around the corner. He's pretty quick, too. So you hit with a 22. So your Booming Blade, let's see. You hit, and now it becomes part... Well, it is actually part of the spell anyway. So let's see. He'll take the piercing damage from the short sword, and now I believe there's also some damage from the Booming Blade.
If he moves, then he gets it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's the gimmick with Booming Blade. I like that. So yeah. So on a hit, the target suffers the attack's normal, and it becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of his next turn. If the target willingly moves before then, it immediately takes 1d8 thunder damage, and the spell ends. Well, he's definitely going to do that because, yeah, Durnan, Durnan kind of falls back. Durnan is going to fall back now, back to the bar. He basically disengages. So this last bandit, he does move. So he's going to take the 1d8 damage. Do you want to give it to him, or do you want me to roll it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Because I think if you give it to him, it'll just put it on his... Okay, wow. Yeah, there you go. He takes 5 as he moves, and he's going to disengage as well. And then he basically ducks around the corner as well and disappears.
Lost you.